The massive alien ship appeared suddenly near Earth's moon, shining with strange metals humans had never seen before. Earth's defense weapons turned on, but they looked weak compared to the alien vessel. Admiral Kim showed no emotion as the alien leader appeared in the United Nations meeting room. The creature introduced itself as Tajo from the Galactic Hegemony. "We have studied your people and found you unworthy," Tajo said bluntly. "Your technology is too simple to join our group, but your planet has things we want. Give us permission to take these resources, or we will attack you." People in the room started shouting in anger, but Admiral Kim just watched the alien quietly with her hands folded. "How long do we have to think about what you're asking?" she questioned. 7 days, Tajo answered with little concern. "Though it won't change anything. Our scans show your defenses are hundreds of years behind ours. Fighting back would be pointless and wasteful." When the alien left, Admiral Kim moved quickly to a private communications room. She entered a secret code that only 5 people in the entire solar system knew. "Start Protocol Sundown," she said softly. Back in her office, Admiral Kim looked out the window at the night sky, where the alien ship hung like a new star. Her assistant, Officer Sung, entered with reports. "The Security Council is panicking," Sung said. "The President wants your assessment immediately." "Tell him exactly what he expects to hear," Kim replied. "That we are outmatched and should consider diplomatic options." Sung looked confused. "But Admiral, that's not what our true capabilities." Kim raised her hand. "The hegemony is watching everything. Every transmission, every movement. They must see only what we want them to see." That night, military bases worldwide reported unusual maintenance issues. Weapons systems went offline for routine updates. Satellite communications experienced technical difficulties. To outside observers, Earth's defenses seemed to be falling apart under pressure. The next morning, Tajo requested another meeting. This time, he brought detailed maps of Earth's mineral-rich regions. "These areas will be surrendered for our extraction teams," he stated. "We will begin in 3 days." President Cho looked defeated as he nodded in agreement. "We need time to evacuate civilians from those areas." 2 days, no more, Tajo allowed, clearly enjoying Earth's apparent helplessness. Meanwhile, Admiral Kim boarded a normal-looking transport shuttle. Once in orbit, the shuttle entered a cloud of space debris, old satellites and rocket parts. Inside this cloud, the shuttle disappeared from all tracking systems. 6 hours later, Kim floated into a massive command center hidden inside an asteroid in the belt between Mars and Jupiter. The room buzzed with activity as officers monitored screens showing the hegemony ships. "They've deployed scout vessels throughout the system," Commander Park reported, "but none have detected our facilities." Kim nodded. "And the fleet?" Park smiled. "Ready. Our phase shift technology is working perfectly. The entire armada is invisible to their sensors." On a giant screen, Kim could see thousands of human warships, far more advanced than anything Earth publicly acknowledged. They sat hidden in plain sight, some near the moon, others near Mars and even in Earth orbit. The phase shift technology made them exist slightly out of normal spacetime, undetectable by conventional means. "How long have they been watching us?" Park asked. "Years, most likely," Kim answered. "They saw exactly what we wanted them to see. A species just beginning to explore its solar system, with limited weapons and defensive capabilities. The Archipelago Project has prepared for this moment for 3 generations," Park said with pride. Kim touched a console, bringing up images of the hegemony's main fleet, still days away from Earth. "They think they're dealing with children. They'll learn soon enough that humanity had teeth all along." She opened a secure channel to all hidden bases throughout the solar system. "This is Admiral Kim. Operation Sundown is proceeding as planned. Continue maintaining deception protocols. The hegemony believes we are primitive and scared. For the next 5 days, we will continue to appear weak and disorganized." Her eyes hardened as she looked at the approaching alien fleet. Then we will show them exactly what humanity is capable of. For 7 days, Earth seemed to give up without a fight. People watched as alien ships landed at mining sites around the world. Humans moved away from these areas quietly, not fighting back. News shows across the planet showed scared people accepting their fate. Captain Lee sat at his control panel on the secret Mars station, hidden beneath the surface of the red planet. His screen showed alien ships moving around Earth. They have sent 47 mining ships down to Earth, he told Admiral Kim through a special secure line that aliens couldn't detect. Their battleships are staying in orbit above Earth. What about their scanning technology? Can they see our hidden ships? Admiral Kim asked, her voice calm despite the pressure. Lee checked his instruments carefully. No, they only see our old defense stations and the small patrol fleet near Jupiter. Our special hiding technology is working perfectly. On day 6, the alien leader Taejo called for another meeting with Earth's government. He stood tall in the meeting room, looking down at the human leaders. "We see that you are following our orders," Taejo said with pride in his voice. "The hegemony has now decided to build a permanent base on your moon. You have no choice in this matter." President Yoon kept his eyes down, acting defeated. "We understand we have no power to stop you." After the meeting, Taejo returned to his ship and sent a message to the main hegemony fleet that was coming closer to Earth each day. "These humans are even more pathetic than our first reports showed," he said with a laugh. "They have no courage to fight, and no technology to stop us even if they tried." The alien didn't know that every word he said was being listened to by hidden human devices. While Earth appeared beaten on the surface, deep activity was happening in secret. Admiral Kim traveled through a hidden portal system to Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. She rode a fast elevator down through the thick ice into a massive hollow space carved inside the moon. The secret chamber stretched for miles in every direction. Thousands of workers moved around enormous warships unlike anything publicly known to exist. These ships featured technology the hegemony thought impossible for humans to create. Admiral Kim walked across a bridge overlooking the massive construction area. Commander Park met her halfway, carrying reports on a digital tablet. "Is our fleet ready?" Kim asked, watching workers install powerful weapons on a ship below. 98% ready for battle," Park answered with confidence. "The sundown protocol is working exactly as planned." They entered a large control room where officers monitored communications from across the solar system. On screen after screen, they watched aliens setting up mining operations on Earth while secretly tracking every hegemony ship. "The aliens believe we're primitive," said Officer Jin, pointing to intercepted hegemony messages. "They think our most advanced technology is the Jupiter patrol ships." Admiral Kim nodded. "Good. Their overconfidence is growing by the hour." Another officer called out, "Admiral, we've intercepted plans for their moon base. They're bringing in heavy equipment tomorrow." "Let them start building," Kim replied. "The more resources they commit, the better." Later that day, Kim joined a video meeting with other leaders of the secret defense program. Each called in from different hidden bases throughout the solar system. "Hegemony confidence is at maximum levels," reported General Bake from his base inside Mercury. "Their main battle fleet is advancing with minimal defensive formations. They expect no resistance." "What about our civilian populations?" asked Director Kang from the hidden Neptune station. "Evacuation to the underground shelters is 82% complete," another officer reported. "All critical personnel are now protected." Admiral Kim studied the strategic display showing all hegemony positions across the solar system. Their ships moved boldly, taking no precautions. "They see exactly what 3 generations of planning prepared them to see," Kim said quietly. "A young species, technically gifted but militarily weak." She zoomed the display out to show thousands of hidden human ships in phase shift mode, invisible but ready around every planet and moon. In 3 days, when their main fleet arrives and they begin full resource extraction, Kim stated firmly, They'll learn the truth about humanity. Commander Park looked at the display. Do you think they suspect anything at all? Kim shook her head. Their arrogance blinds them. They believe themselves too advanced to be tricked by primitive humans. She smiled slightly. That will be their downfall. Richry is 80 years ago. Everything changed when humans found strange alien objects on Mars. These objects proved humans were not alone in space. World leaders met in secret to plan how to protect Earth from possible alien threats. They created a bold plan. Show the world one path of normal progress while secretly building much more advanced technology. The public would see regular space stations and simple ships. Behind this mask, Project Archipelago would create powerful weapons and ships that no one would know about. In a secure room deep within Europa's ice, Admiral Kim showed her officers old videos from those first meetings. Our grandparents were wise, she said as the screen showed grainy footage of world leaders signing the secret Archipelago Treaty. They knew someday aliens might come. They knew we needed to be ready, but also needed to appear harmless. The officers watched as the video showed the first hidden base being built inside an asteroid. Workers in old-style spacesuits carved out massive chambers where no alien telescope could see. For 80 years, we've lived two lives, Admiral Kim continued. The public saw normal progress, simple Mars colonies, basic space stations. Meanwhile, we built all this. She gestured to the massive shipyard around them. Lieutenant June looked up from his screen with worry on his face. Admiral, bad news. The hegemony has called for their main battle fleet. It will arrive in 14 hours. Good, Admiral Kim said calmly, surprising some of the younger officers. Their arrogance grows by the hour. That works in our favor. She walked to a large window overlooking the shipyard. Below, final weapons were being installed on massive warships that looked nothing like the simple vessels Earth officially possessed. Tell me about Dr. Han, asked a young officer who had just joined the Europa Command. Admiral Kim smiled slightly. The most brilliant mind of the past century. Dr. Han created the quantum phase shift technology that makes our fleet invisible to alien sensors. The Admiral touched a control panel, bringing up an image of an older woman with kind eyes but a determined expression. Dr. Han understood that to hide our true strength, we needed ships that could exist partly outside normal space. Her quantum phase shift technology lets our vessels remain unseen until the moment we choose to reveal them. Another officer entered the command center with a tablet. Admiral, we've intercepted hegemony communications. They're planning a ceremony when their main fleet arrives. They'll formally declare Earth a subject world. Admiral Kim's expression hardened. They'll find the ceremony doesn't go as planned. She opened a communication channel to all hidden bases across the solar system. On screens around her, commanders appeared from secret facilities throughout the solar system. Status reports, she ordered. Venus Deep Base ready. All 30 carriers powered. Reported Commander Sun from beneath the toxic clouds of Venus. Mercury heat shield bases ready. Attack groups prepared, came the next report. One by one, commanders from bases hidden in asteroids, moons, and even folded space pockets reported their forces ready. Each base had been built over generations, slowly and carefully to avoid detection. In a massive hollowed asteroid near Jupiter, engineers loaded the final warheads onto missiles designed to disable rather than destroy. Humanity wanted to show strength, not cruelty. At the Titan underwater base on Saturn's largest moon, submarine carriers prepared to surface from the methane seas when the signal came. Neptune Outpost reports quantum communications network at 100%, reported Lieutenant June. All bases can communicate instantly without detection. Admiral Kim studied the master tactical display. It showed thousands of hidden human ships positioned throughout the solar system, all in phase shift mode, invisible to hegemony sensors. The aliens saw only empty space where humanity's true power waited. 3 generations of sacrifice and secrecy have prepared us for tomorrow, she told her officers. Our ancestors built industrial capacity in secret, developed technologies centuries ahead of what we show publicly, and created this fleet knowing they might never see it used. She walked slowly around the command center, looking each officer in the eye. The hegemony thinks we're weak because that's what we wanted them to think. They believe they face a simple species just learning to travel in space. Instead, they faced the combined determination of 3 generations of humanity who knew this day would come. Admiral Kim checked the time. We have 13 hours until their main fleet arrives. Prepare all ships. When they expect us to kneel and accept their rule, we will show them who we really are. Throughout the solar system, phase-shifted ships began powering up weapons while remaining invisible. The trap was set. Soon, the hegemony would learn the dangerous lesson of underestimating humanity. The hegemony battle fleet appeared suddenly near Pluto. 300 massive warships moved in perfect formation, their weapons ready. They had come to take the Earth system permanently. Aboard the lead ship, Fleet Commander Dai smiled as he studied the human defenses. He saw only a few small ships near Earth and some old defense platforms. Pitiful, he said to his officers. These humans are even weaker than our reports claimed. Ambassador Tejo bowed slightly. I have sent our final message to Earth. They have 1 hour to formally surrender and accept their new status as our subjects. Commander Day laughed. Look at their defenses. Old satellites and a few small patrol ships. This isn't even worth calling a battle. For the next hour, the alien fleet moved slowly toward Earth. Their sensors showed nothing unusual, just what humans had shown them for weeks, a vulnerable planet with minimal protection. On their screens, they watched humans rushing in panic. News broadcasts showed people hiding in shelters. Military bases appeared to be on high alert, but with outdated equipment. Their hour is up, Tejo announced. They have not responded. Begin the approach, Commander Date ordered. Prepare to disable their pathetic defenses. At that exact moment, in her command center deep within Europa, Admiral Kim stood up. Her officers watched her with tense excitement. 3 generations of planning had led to this moment. Execute sundown, she said clearly. Throughout the solar system, thousands of hidden human ships received the command simultaneously. Each vessel activated its phase shift drive in reverse. The aliens saw it first on their sensors. Space itself seemed to ripple and tear open. Where there had been empty void seconds before, warships now appeared, thousands of them, surrounding the hegemony fleet completely. These weren't the simple ships the aliens had seen before. These vessels were sleek and advanced, with weapons the hegemony had thought impossible for humans to develop. The ships moved with perfect coordination, closing off all escape routes. On the hegemony command ship, alarms screamed as sensors detected the massive human fleet. Impossible, shouted Commander Day, jumping from his chair. Where did they come from? How did they hide from our scans? The tactical officer's hands shook as he tried to count the human ships. Over 5,000 vessels, Commander. They'd surrounded us completely. On every hegemony ship, crews rushed to battle stations. Weapons powered up as panic spread through the alien fleet. A communication came through on all channels. Admiral Kim's calm face appeared on screens throughout the alien fleet. Hegemony vessels, she said clearly. You are now surrounded by the United Earth Defense Fleet. Power down your weapons immediately, or we will be forced to respond. Commander Day slammed his fist on the console. This is some trick. Humans don't have this technology. He turned to his weapons officer. Target their largest vessels and fire. 5 hegemony ships launched energy weapons at the nearest human ships. The attacks hit perfect defensive shields that absorbed the energy completely. In response, several human vessels fired precise shots that disabled the weapon systems of the attacking hegemony ships without destroying them. How? Commander Dai whispered as he watched his best weapons fail. Admiral Kim's voice came through again. That was a warning. Our next response will disable your engines. We don't wish to destroy you, but we will defend ourselves. Tejo pushed forward. This is impossible. I've been on their planet. I've seen their primitive technology. A new transmission came through. This time it showed President Yoon, the same leader who had appeared weak and frightened days before. Now he stood tall and confident. What you saw, Ambassador Tejo, was exactly what we wanted you to see, the president explained. For 80 years, we've shown one face to the universe while building another. On the main screen, the tactical display showed the true situation. Human ships had formed a perfect sphere around the hegemony fleet. There was no escape. Commander Dae slowly sat down, his confidence shattered. How could a young species hide such capability? Admiral Kim's voice answered. We learned long ago that appearing weak while being strong is the best defense. You scanned our system and saw only what we allowed you to see. She paused before continuing. For 3 generations, we built our real fleet in quantum phase shift, partially outside normal space. We developed technologies in secret while showing only basic progress to watching eyes. On the Hegemony command ship, tactical officers desperately tried to find weaknesses in the human fleet. They found none. We now have 2 paths forward, Admiral Kim continued. Conflict, which will not end well for your fleet, or diplomacy between equals. The choice is yours, Commander Dae. The Hegemony commander looked at his surrounded fleet, then at the advanced human ships that had appeared from nowhere. Open a diplomatic channel, he said quietly. It seems we have much to learn about humans. Despite Admiral Kim's offer for peaceful resolution, 7 hegemony ships broke formation and opened fire on the human fleet. Their powerful energy weapons streaked across space toward Earth's vessels. The human ships didn't move to dodge. Instead, their advanced shields absorbed the attacks completely, glowing briefly but taking no damage. Admiral Kim sighed and gave a simple order: defensive response only. Human ships fired with incredible precision. They didn't aim to destroy the alien vessels, but instead targeted specific systems. Thin beams of concentrated antimatter touched the attacking ships, and suddenly their weapons went silent. Other human vessels used gravitational distortion technology to gently stop the hegemony ships from moving. Within 20 minutes, 37 hegemony vessels had been disabled but not destroyed. The rest of the alien fleet remained frozen in position, stunned by the demonstration of power and restraint. Commander Dae watched in disbelief as his best ships were rendered helpless without being damaged. His tactical officer showed him scans of the human weapons, technology that the hegemony had thought was centuries beyond human capability. They could destroy us all, the tactical officer whispered, but they're choosing not to. A communication request came from Admiral Kim's command ship. Commander Dae hesitated only briefly before accepting. I believe it's time we talked as equals, Admiral Kim said calmly. 3 hours later, Commander Dae and Ambassador Tejo stood in the conference room aboard the human flagship. They looked out the large window at their disabled fleet surrounded by thousands of advanced human ships. Admiral Kim entered with President Yoon and several other human leaders. The meeting was brief and to the point. We could have destroyed your entire fleet, Admiral Kim stated simply. Instead, we offer terms. The hegemony will recognize Earth and all human colonies as independent territory. You will establish proper diplomatic relations with us as equals. Commander Dae nodded slowly. His arrogance was gone, replaced by a new respect. There is one thing I must understand, Ambassador Tejo said, his voice much humbler than before. How did your species develop this level of technology in secret? I spent weeks on your planet. I saw your cities, your factories. Admiral Kim allowed herself a small smile. You saw what we wanted you to see. Humans have always been good at preparation and patience. For 80 years, 3 full generations, we showed one face to the universe while building another. She touched a control, and a hologram appeared showing the vast hidden shipyards throughout the solar system. The Archipelago project gave humanity a shared secret and a shared purpose, she explained. While the public saw normal technological progress, our hidden program worked far ahead. Every scientific breakthrough had two paths, one public, one secret. Tejo stared at the hologram in amazement. But the resources needed for this, how did you hide such massive production? Carefully, President Yoon answered. Mining operations that reported normal output were actually producing much more. Scientists who publicly worked on basic space travel secretly developed phase shift technology. Every aspect of our civilization was designed to present one image while building another. 1 month later, the Hegemony Council formally recognized Earth as a sovereign power. The news spread quickly through the galaxy. The story of how humans had tricked one of the most powerful forces in known space. 6 months after that, Earth opened its first embassy on the Hegemony Central World. The human diplomatic ship arrived in spectacular fashion, shifting between normal space and phase shift as it approached. Visible one moment, partially transparent the next. It was both a peaceful gesture and a reminder of human capabilities. In her office on Earth, Admiral Kim looked at the small model of that diplomatic vessel. She thought about her grandfather, one of the first leaders of Project Archipelago, who had died never knowing if his work would save humanity. He would be proud, said President Yoon, who had come to visit. All those who worked in secret for 3 generations would be proud. Admiral Kim nodded. The most important lesson wasn't the technology. It was the patience, the willingness to work for something you might never see completed. On screens around the world, humans watched as their representatives met with species from across the galaxy. Earth was no longer seen as a primitive world, but as a respected power. Other alien civilizations began approaching Earth differently, with respect rather than arrogance. The story of the hidden fleet had spread everywhere. The message was clear to anyone watching. Underestimate humans at your peril. They might not show their strength right away, but that doesn't mean it isn't there. One young diplomat from a distant world summed it up best when meeting President Yoon. The story of your hidden fleet will be remembered for generations. It teaches us all that true strength isn't always visible, and appearances can be the greatest deception of all. The end.